My name's Helen Sheldon. I'm from a company called RBA Acoustics. I am an acoustic consultant specialising particularly in building acoustics. Generally speaking, I'm working with either architects and designers or contractors, people who are designing and building buildings. And I specifically sort of advise those people on how to construct the building to control noise and vibration. Now that might be in terms of what we call sound insulation, which is how much sound gets from one place to another. So if you're in one room, can you hear what's going on next door? It might also be in terms of noise break-in. Can you hear the road outside? Can you hear airplanes going overhead? And we also look at what we call room acoustics, which is finishes within the space. Is it too echoey? Is it really dead? And what's suitable for the use that we're trying to achieve. I was always doing some kind of music and making some kind of noise, my parents would probably say. Sort of consistent thing which stuck with me was my love of music and my love of all things kind of sound related. I actually knew about acoustics as a potential career because my dad was involved in acoustics. So I was really into music and I was good at science and I enjoyed maths. And so when it came to sort of thinking about career options, I figured putting them all together and doing something to do with sound would be a really interesting option. So I chose to do music, physics and maths at A level with a view to kind of looking at acoustics as an option. And I went on to study physics with acoustics at Salford University for my degree. And really the aim was to design concert halls and performance spaces and really use that the kind of music side of things. And I have been lucky enough in the space of my career to design some really fascinating performance spaces. I work on the whole range of buildings. We do lots of design for things that you would possibly expect us to be involved in, like cinemas, studios, things like that. But we also get involved in more day-to-day buildings. I do a lot of work on residential buildings, so blocks of flats, houses, things like that. We get involved in a lot of offices, schools, hospitals. I love being able to kind of like walk around a city and go, oh yeah, I was involved in that, I was involved in that. And it gives you a sense of satisfaction seeing buildings that you've been involved with the design, and you're literally looking at drawings and seeing it all on paper to actually seeing it in real life. And it's nice getting to go and do sort of commissioning tests on buildings because you actually get to go and hear what it sounds like and see that it is performing in the way that you designed it to, or not, as the case may be, and how to fix it if it's not. What do I love most about my job? That's a really fascinating question. I think it is probably the variety of things that I get to be involved with. So you might find that on one day I'm going out and doing a noise survey, I'm measuring the sound from a road or a railway or whatever is going on. So I might be standing in a field measuring noise from the environment. Another day I might be doing quite complex calculations, looking at spreadsheets and figuring out how sound transmits from one place to another and what we're going to do about it, how we need to control it. We often do things like three-dimensional computer models, so we'll be looking at perhaps what an internal space would look like. So it might be a big auditorium or something like that, and we create a 3D model on the computer and look at what finishes are going to help with what and where we're going to put them. This is an entrance atria in an office building in Manchester. So this area over here is where we've got a particularly high noise level. This red is bleeding quite a long way, whereas in one of the other options, the red is reasonably well contained, and that's because we've got more absorptive treatment in here. This is probably one of our most used pieces of equipment. It's called a sound level meter, and it does exactly what it says. It measures sound. As I'm talking, you'll see the numbers going up and down on there, and it's basically because I'm being noisy, it's measuring it. And we use these all the time. We'll go out and measure how noisy a road is, how loud planes going overhead are. In terms of skills and strengths and things that help with this job, I think if you are good with people and good at getting your point across, then that's a really good starting point for being involved in a job like this. It's definitely changed in terms of the number of women working in acoustics. I think, the first 2 companies I worked for, I was the first ever technical female member of staff. We are seeing a lot more kind of women coming through into the industry, and I think that's great. You don't have to be a particular type of person to get involved. If you've got enthusiasm, passion and an interest in a certain area, then go for it and get stuck in.